And that's where the Christian Watch has come out. And we are beginning to look at it. No more slogan. It's not going to be business as usual. It's not going to be business as usual. Now when you have an evidence, we find a fault. If there's no evidence, there shouldn't be any fault. You can't fault a man who is doing extremely marvelously wonderful, beyond human explanation. And you just wake up from somewhere because you have a 500 naira debt data, and you just come up and castigate. Now look at this, the city. Nobody's growing. Things are not working. Why? Not because the land is not fertile, but because of the attitude, the culture of the people. We keep running down leadership. We keep looking down on authority. We keep looking down on people who have tried. And that's why we're out here. So give out a shout and say, no, it will not be business as usual. The Christian Watchers movement, their eyes are on the ground, the eyes of the ego. We are looking out for whatever is not right, we will say it's not right. But whatever is right remains right. And there's nothing anybody can do about the truth.
Great.
Thank you very much.
All right, great. Secretary, let me come to you now, Pastor Basim Bang, a Christian Watchers movement. Who is supposed to be part of this movement? Is it solely within Calabar, or it cuts across Cross River, Nigeria? And what's the qualification to be part of the movement?
Thank you very much, Pastor Joe. Christian Watchers Movement Nigeria is not a local movement. But before I get into answer your question, I want to add to what my director has just said. You know, we are from the Christian community where His Excellency comes from, the church. And we are watched carefully that nobody is talking. In the army, a wounded soldier is protected. Even in the law profession, a lawyer who has any challenge, the other lawyers stands by him. But that is not in the church. If a minister of God or a Christian is overtaken by a fault or whatever, the very first people to castigate that person is the fellow Christians. Now, in the church, so many persons, maybe they are afraid to say that Prince Otu is doing well. They are afraid. But we sat down and said, no, we can't sit down here and fold our arms and see a campaign of calumny all over the place for a man that took over this state, in fact, from nothing. Those of us who were one time or the other opportune to be closer to government, we have seen what this government has done. So we are here to support him. We are here to lend a voice. We are here to campaign, not as a politician, but to let other ministers of God, other Christians, everyone in Cross River State to know that we find no fault in Prince Otu. Now, back to your question. Number one, it is not only in Calabar. Okay. We are cut across the 18 local governments. In fact, it's a movement. We are hitting the ground running. One, every local government, we are going there to sell this message that we find no fault in Prince Otu. And when we get not only local governments, we are going to the traditional rulers, we are going to servants of God. Everyone that we know can lend a voice to us by saying that we find no fault in Prince Otu. How do you become a member? It's open to everyone who has the same feelings, the same ideology, the same stand with us. What you need to do is open freely. The only thing you need to do is come closer to us. You will pick up your t-shirt and pick up your cap. You become an automatic member. As far as you are ready to shout our slogan that we find no fault in Prince Otu, where are his accusers? That's the question we are asking.
Great. Okay, Dr. Joseph, as a founder of this movement, let's look at with your slogan, we find no fault in Prince Otu. I'd like you to expand further on this for us.
Thank you very much, my able pastor. I want to say very clearly that if you look at John chapter 8 and verse 13, the Pharisees said to Jesus, if you testify of yourself, your testimony is not valid. If you testify of yourself, your testimony is not valid. Now, I want to say here that thank God for everyone that is in the government. But if anybody in the government comes out and says, they will tell you because you're eating, you're part of what is happening, you're enjoying the meals, and that's why. We are not part of it. And we have seen the truth. And that's why we are out here shouting. See, we find no fault in Prince O2. Because it's no more business as usual. Somebody's filling in a pothole and they keep work is going on. I mean, that's mediocrity. I never said anything. This is a government that entered into governance, power, came into power. No place, no office, official office for His Excellency to operate. Can I say that he operated out of nothing? He had nowhere to stay. And then this man came into office. He had no place to live. When you give somebody such a level of responsibility, you must make all those things available. But this man came into government without every of these things, and in just 3 years, and somebody's judging him. That's wrong. That's wrong. Even God Himself created the whole world in 7 days. Let's attribute a day to a year. And that's supposed to mean that even God Himself needed up to 7 years to be able to create the world. And a man who came in, look at the philosophy and the ideology. Let me call it Otuism. Let me call it Otuism. Now, it's never been like that in Cross River State, because this man came into power, on arriving the seat, decided not to carry out this project. What stops him from passing anything to law? I want to bring train, I want to do that. But he got back to the things that were destroyed, things that were kept aside. So without any contradiction, we are all Cross Riverians, we all live here. I'm not a traditional person. It's not about traditional sentiment of because he's an ethnic man. No. We're talking about leadership. We're talking about governance. We're talking about generations yet unborn. He came on board and started taking over. I mean, if every other government that came had to make the institutions that were bad to work, where would we have been today? But this man came back and started taking up Tinapa, took up the cattle ranch, took up all the things that were abandoned. We were all here when we saw the Ensa saga. Sir, nobody wanted to live in Calabar. There was no more recreational place. Can anybody tell me that he had the guts to go back to 1111 to snap 2 years ago? No, but that's not true. But when this young, energetic apostle of God, because he's from our constituency, and that's why we're talking, came on board, he started taking up all those things that were began to put them in place, put things in place. And in 3 years, look at what he has done. Don't you think that the next year when he now comes up and says, I want to do this, do you think he's going to do less? He's going to do massively. So, and that's exactly why we are out here to shout and say, leave this man alone. Let him carry out the good work. Nehemiah said to Sanballat and Tobiah, we can't come down to you. We will not come back to you. We will not coming down because we are handling a great work. What was Nehemiah's project? Did he go to build something new? No, he went to rehabilitate the walls of Jerusalem that was broken down.
Yeah.
He went back to fix the walls. And Sanballat and Tobiah came and started making mockery of his work. But he said to them, no, I'm doing a great work. Sir, without any contradiction, Prince O2, His Excellency, my governor, is doing a great work in Cross River State. Even the blind can see it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dr. Joseph Effiong. Let me now speak with your secretary, Pastor Bassi. You seem to bear the first name to His Excellency. so let's look at what are your strategies. Campaigns will start for the state elections by next month. what are the strategies that the Christian Watchers Movement in Nigeria would put up to ensure that you galvanize the over 5 million Christians resident in Cross River State to get support for His Excellency the Governor?
Okay, let me start from my constituency. Calabar Municipality, I happen to be the CAN coordinator there. And this message is in every of my leader. Every day we meet in our platforms, I speak to their ears that we find no fault in Prince Otu. Let me shock you. When we just, our first outing, if I tell you calls that have entered my phone, people are asking me, how do we join? I told you we cut across the 18 local governments. So it is not something that we are going to look for who will join us. People are online. So what we are going to do is to now sit back and see how we can integrate all those groups to come in and be a voice. All of them will not come to Calabar. All of them are in their various local governments. And that's where they will represent us. We have a strategy. I will not tell you here on air, but we have a strategy to make sure that our own, from our constituency, I keep saying, returns back to government house come 2027. Look at, the other day I was passing through Chronicle. You know, the Chronicle down there, down the road. I was shocked to see the massive change that place that was once dilapidated is now wearing a new facelift. In fact, if I was still available, I would have said, Your Excellency, send me to Chronicle, let me go and work. Because the environment is very, very conducive. Is it the State Library you want to talk about? Is it the Parliamentary Road where I'm living, which was not passable? You name it. Go to the garment factory. It's been transformed to a wonderful industry that His Excellency has even made us to understand. Obudu Ranch. We go around to check these things. And we saw that this man is doing well. So that's why we are standing. The airport, like the director has just said, he never abandoned the projects that he said Cross River money is being used into. Go to the cultural center, go to CICC. Which one? Make I no speak for broken, but the thing don't pay me. Make we leave this man to work. All distractors, go find your work to do. It's not easy. So thank you. We have our strategy. You will be shocked when the real ball starts. You will know that we are all players.
Absolutely. So finally, Dr. Joseph, let's get your parting words to Cross Riverians that are watching this show this evening as far as this project is concerned.
Thank you very much. I want to say to every Cross Riverian, keep your faith. The man in governance is a sweet spirit. He's a good man. Sir, the man is a good man. And every Cross Riverian can feel it. We see it. We know it. Just only that we need to give him time to really express what is in him. Sir, real visions don't run. When you plant water leaf, you can reap it in just 2 days and 1 week and whatever. But when you do cocoa, it will take you 2-3 years. This servant of God has come to save the people. Can I tell Cross Riverians that if you don't have anything to remember, just remember that the oil wells have been recovered. If you don't have anything to remember, just remember that life is going to get better very soon. Look at the deep sea port. Look at what is happening. This man is a man sent from God, by God, to us. We must not reject a gift of God to our generation. This is the end of the road for everyone who stands up to fight light. He is the light of Cross River State. I call him Utwenikam Cross River State, the light, the lantern of Cross River State. Please, sir, all we need to do is to pray for men in leadership. And that's all I'm going to tell us, all Cross Riverians. If you're not very okay in some of these policies as a man, let's pray for him. Let's pray for him. Let's add a little prayers. But listen, to add to what my secretary has just said, sir, I want to say to you that the pulpit is the strongest unit of communication. And when the men behind the pulpit find no fault in Prince Otu, all Cross Riverians will find no fault in him. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. And that's where we'll be ending this particular segment here. It's been a pleasure talking with Pastor Dr. Joseph Effium. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
The director and founder of the Christian Watchers Movement Nigeria, and also Pastor Bassey Mbang, secretary of that same movement. Thank you very much for your time on the show.
Thank you very much.
We really hope that as we get closer to the campaigns period, we will be having you to give us updates on what you're doing to ensure that 2027 is a done deal for His Excellency the Governor.
Thank you.
So we'll take a very short break, and when we are back, we'll be having on set the Deputy Chief Press Secretary to His Excellency the Governor, as he will be telling us some of those great stuff you have achieved in the last few days here in Calabar. Stay with us, we'll take a breather. Weekend Politics returns shortly. Don't go away.